Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another Zombicide unboxing. Mostly. So this is for the Iron Maiden packs. As you can see, I got 3 of them here. Each one has a bunch of different miniatures in there. Um, so each of the 2 boxes, pack 1 and pack 2, each have 6 different um, 6 different miniatures in there. From various different, basically the cover artworks of Iron Maiden. Now, right up front, I'll say I'm sure I've heard Iron Maiden before, but I'm not like some diehard fan. I love Zombicide. I have a bunch of the other CMON games as well, and these guys just look really awesome. So I'm like, that's what drew me to this. So I might not know all the references. I might not be as surprised or awesome by some of the artwork and all that. I mean, I love the artwork. I mean, I don't know the band, I don't know the music and the album. So yeah, so pack 1 and 2 each, you're gonna have 6 miniatures each with a bunch of different cards in them. I say it's kind of Zombicide because they have stuff. Almost every single character has miniature has a card for Zombicide second edition, so you can use it in them. Then they kind of split up from there. There will be some that'll have cards, so you can use them in Black Plague. Some that can use them in Zombicide Invader. Some that can be used in Zombicide Undead or Alive, which is the Western one. So it's kind of whatever theme they sort of fit in there. And then some of them also have cards for Ankh, Gods of Egypt, Cthulhu, Death May Die, Massive Darkness 2, and possibly Rising Sun. 4 other games by CMON Games, who make Zombicide. So it's kind of neat because they, rather than releasing a bunch of different versions, they just made these so you can buy, hey, you're getting these for Zombicide. Great, you own these other games? Awesome, you can use them in all of them. Now, we'll go through each box. This is going to be a 3-part video. We're going to do box 1, box 2, and then we'll do box 3. And then so we'll be jumping between all the different sets in each one. So if I look at, the Mummy, we'll go through all of his cards and stuff in that. I'll probably do those, show off all the miniatures first. Then I will go through all the cards so I don't have to keep trying to go back and forth between miniatures and all that. So that was box 1 and 2, and then box 3 has 2 bigger miniatures in it by themselves. But in video 3, we will also be going over the original Eddie, which is a pre-order exclusive, which is only good for Zombicide 2nd edition. But we'll go over his pack in the 3rd video as well, because he's such a limited release. Alright, so without further ado, we will hop into the first box. Alright, we're going to hop into Iron Maiden pack number 3, and then after we're done going through that, we'll look at the pre-order only original Eddie booster pack, or 4th pack, I guess. So that's only going to be available if you pre-ordered all 3 of these together. If you didn't, I'm sure you can probably find it secondhand online on eBay or wherever. Maybe a gaming store has it available. But we'll take a look at that. You can decide whether it's worth you picking up for that or not. But for the time being, we're going to look at the retail versions of this. So this is the Pack 1 and Pack 2 each had 6 other Eddies that were available as generally playable characters in most of 2nd edition, but sometimes only available in one or the other difference, and then a couple other cards for some of the other sets. So, the other CMON games. So this will have, these 2 are available. These are boss-only characters, or enemy-only characters. So we're going to have Fear Eddie from Fear of the Dark, and Wicker Eddie from Wicker Man. So these are some extra big-size enemy characters. Sometimes when you're scared to take a look at the corner of the room, you sense that something's watching you. So more than Iron Maiden's mascot, Eddie is one of the greatest heavy metal icons of all time. This pack brings 2 of his most terrifying incarnations for you to face across a range of CMON games, including eras of Zombicide, each adding unique gameplay wherever they prowl. Your time will come, for the Piper at the gates of dawn is calling you his way. Yeah, so definitely cool. So we're going to just see all those. Alright, so we're going to look at the miniatures first, and then we'll go through all the different cards and stuff, just so I don't have to keep holding them up extra special. Alright, so here we have Fear Eddie first. Yeah, so he is like embedded into this tree. He's like a tree-like being. This is definitely awesome. I love these giant oversized figures. Let's see if we have a good picture of him. So we'll look at the Abomination card. So there's kind of his picture right there. Definitely demonic. Then the other one we're going to have is Wicker Eddie, which is based on like Wicker Man, Burning Man type aesthetic. So he's supposed to be generally on fire. Can't really tell it as much in the miniature, but if we look at the artwork, I can't imagine someone painting these. I would love to have these painted, but it's crazy, right? To be able to do that. Alright, yeah, so those are the two there. And as a comparison for height-wise, these are those two. And then we'll look at just the regular Eddie. We'll look at him a little bit. There's the original Eddie. For that, he's just kind of sitting there. He has his garbage on the floor. But like, as a size comparison of a regular miniature versus how big these guys are. So they're 2 to 3 times bigger than a regular guy. So they're actually very fearsome to be putting on the board. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and take a look at their cards. Since they are just versus guys, I'm going to kind of set him right there and see if we can zoom in up on this a bit more. Nope, and we'll have to put them back down here. Trying to kind of keep these guys in frame at least a little bit. Alright, so his Abomination version, this is for Zombicide 2nd edition. It says, his attacks deal 2 wounds, can only be eliminated by using 2 Molotovs on the same round. Which is interesting. He's on fire, but you have to kill him with more fire. Basically, you have to just try and burn him quicker. That makes him really hard to kill. He doesn't have any other special abilities other than that. But still, that's definitely terrifying enough. And then Fear Eddie, so kind of throw down there. He'll be a little bit shorter. This is interesting. He cannot move. His attack range is 0 to 1. But it says when he activates, deal 1 wound to each survivor in dark zones. Then spawn 1 walker in each dark zone with a survivor. So he doesn't move, but you have to get right up to him to take him out. Otherwise, he's going to hit you at an extra range. Or you have to stand more than 2 ranges away. But if you're in any dark zones, he's going to automatically deal damage to you and spawn more guys. It's going to be even worse. So either you have to avoid dark zones and stay all the way away from him. Otherwise, he's just going to make your life trouble unless you run down and hunt him down. Which is kind of cool. Because there are some of the games where you have to go through dark zones to fight against these guys. So very interesting. Alright, so then we're going to jump into, we're going to look at the Undead or Alive versions of these guys. Quick, as long as we have Fear Eddie up, we'll look at his. Because most will be the exact same. So it says, Fear Eddie, this is the Western game. It says he cannot move, his attack has a range of 0 to 1. When he activates, deal 1 wound to each survivor in a corpse pile zone. Then spawn 1 walker in each corpse pile zone, even if inactive. So instead of having dark zones, they have corpse piles scattered around the map. So again, it's either avoid them spots or try and rush in and take him out. And then Wicker Eddie is going to be very much the same. There's 2 wounds, can only be eliminated using 2 dynamites. So dynamites are the Molotovs of the Western game. So very, very scary to have to fight against. Then we're going to look at Zombicide Black Plague. Zombicide Black Plague will come in 2 different varieties. We will have the backer cards from the original, which is Black Plague Green Horde. And then we'll have the new updated ones for White Death. White Death makes them work just like the other 2 cards, 2nd edition, and that they'll have a separate pile of just abominations. So you draw an abomination card, you pull one from this, just like you did 2nd edition or Undead or Alive. The original versions, though, you shuffle all of these into the deck, and then as you draw them, Black Plague, Green Horde, you draw them, you get this character out. They do nothing in blue, but they're summoned in red, yellow, and orange. So Wickerman Eddie will be card number 395, 96, 397, 398, and Fear Eddie is 399, 400, 401, and 402. So it's nice because if you only own the older Black Plague series, you can still play with these guys. But if you got the new White Death version, you can now go ahead and use them with the new rules. It kind of makes them more in line with 2nd edition. It's kind of their way to slowly update Black Plague rules into 2nd edition without literally saying, hey, all this content doesn't exist anymore, start playing, make a brand new 2nd edition. So it works the same way. His attacks deal 2 wounds, can only be eliminated by using 2 Dragonfire on the same round. And then Fear Eddie's is going to be pretty much the same as his. Can't move, range 0 to 1. When activating, any survivor in a zone without another survivor takes 1 wound. So now this one's actually almost even worse than the other two, because the other ones, if they're in specific zones, they take damage and it summons another guy. This one, instead, he's like, if you're not working together, you're taking extra damage. Luckily, it doesn't spawn extra guys, so I guess it's up and down. You hang out with your team, you're fine, but if you go off on your own, you're going to take damage. So it's kind of an interesting, different play. So those are all the cards we have for Zombicide. These guys don't have a lot because they're just the quick ones. So we're going to jump into Massive Darkness 2. I don't have a picture of that. Alright, so Massive Darkness 2, we're going to get, for Wicker Eddie, we're going to get roaming monster cards. Which I think I'm actually going to have to zoom out for these, because these are kind of bigger cards. Alright, we'll prop this guy up so he's a little bit taller. Alright, so the Massive Darkness 2 roaming monster cards, you can add these in. When you draw a roaming monster, you can just shuffle these guys into the deck and you have another new monster to face. They are the equivalent of abominations in the Zombicide game. They're more stronger than your regular mobs, but they also have all these extra special abilities. So we'll just kind of go through these really quick. Health has 5 health per player. He has treasures over here, so he gets to unlock 2. He gets 1 of the common rarity. He has defense, so when he gets attacked, he just throw 2 blue dice and 1 black dice. When he attacks down here, you just roll 1 orange and 1 black dice. Black dice are the standard bad guy dice. Then the colored dice, basically the different colors have better sides to them. So they go, one color goes to the next color, they get more and more sides to them. Or not sides, but you get more pips to do more damage. Then he has the ability which explains how he's essentially going to work. So the Wicker Eddie doesn't resolve fire on him and can't have more than 5 fire. So he gets to play fire abilities. If there's at least 1 hero in Wicker Eddie's zone, move all fire from Wicker Eddie to one of those heroes, then attack that hero. If there's a mob up to 3 zones away from Wicker Eddie, move Wicker Eddie to that zone, kill 1 minion from that mob if possible, and place 2 fire on Wicker Eddie. Defense, 1 claw egg, 1 fire to Wicker Eddie. So basically, he wants to keep fire on himself. If he sees a hero, or if there is a hero in his zone, he'll move all his fire on them guys, so they're going to take burning damage every turn. If there's not a hero in his zone, he'll move towards a mob. He will eat a mob up, and then he will, which is kind of helpful for you, but then he gains more fire to place down. So very, very interesting. He doesn't move towards heroes, so it's only if they attack him. Otherwise, he'll just try and eat everybody else. Very interesting. So this is a level 1 to 2 card. And then we're going to get 5 other cards. Just ups his level. So we have a level 3 to 4, which is just going to up his different stats. He gets more treasure, more dice, gets an extra yellow, two yellow dice down here, gains more health. I don't believe his ability is probably going to change very much. Then at level 5, so this is kind of the base game. If you're just playing a regular game, you play up through level 5 versions. If you're playing a campaign, we can go up to level 6, 7. Just again, get you more guys. But now you notice the treasure disappears because the campaign uses a different mode for that. But his ability stays the same. He's just getting a lot more dice. We have level 8, 9. And then finally we have level 10, which makes him almost like a boss. 17 health per hero. 4 blue dice, 4 green dice, 1 black dice for his defense. And his attack is 3 yellow, 2 orange, 1 red, and 1 black. So definitely can be a pain to fight. Also kind of interesting with this is in one of the other Zombicide boxes, we had one of the other characters that also played as a... Try to remember which one it was at this point. Reaper Eddie. Reaper Eddie in box number 1 also worked as a roaming monster, and he used ice attacks. So it's kind of neat. You have one that's using fire, one that's using ice. They're kind of back and forth there as well. Alright, so that's what we have for him. He gets to play a big monster in that game. In Massive Darkness 2. And then Fear Eddie gets to play a massive in Cthulhu Death May Die. Now, I don't own Cthulhu Death May Die, so I don't really know how all the rules work exactly. But he comes with 2 sets of things. He's going to have one is going to be an unknowing monster, and the second one he's going to have Fear of the Dark Insanity deck. So his character card here, or his villain card you fight against, looks like he has 2 Elder Signs and 2 Tentacle Dice over here that he gets to use. He has 5 health. He has a pool of 1 dragon icon, and he has a question mark for movement. It says, when destroyed, each investigator within 1 space loses 1 sanity. When the Elder One advances, Fear Eddie moves 2 spaces towards you. Then each investigator in the same space as Fear Eddie must move 2 spaces away from him. Other enemies follow. If not on the board, summon him at the nearest gate. Interesting. So, as he moves towards guys, he basically scares them away. They're too afraid to even go near him. So he's going to be probably hard to take out. Plus, enemies will follow with. So it's not like he just pushes you away. But he could probably, I guess, back you into a corner or maybe get you surrounded or push you away from your destination you're trying to get to. Again, I don't know the game, so I'm not sure exactly how all that works. But that seems like a very interesting ability. Let me know in the comments if you play this game, whether that's a really cool effect or if that's, mediocre. So far, all these guys have been pretty cool, so I can't argue. Then we have, they're called, Balsam is Fear of the Dark as an Insanity. So we have an Insanity deck here. So it has some Darkness cards. It says Arkham Sanitarium, Patient Medical Files, A through F. To set, place all Darkness cards randomly in a face-down row. When you rest, you may look at one of them. Pathology, Fear of the Dark. Symptom, choose 1 Darkness card, reveal it, and resolve it. Then shuffle the cards again and set them up. So, you go look at them, you kind of get an idea of what you might be coming up for. But then when you have to reveal and resolve it, then you have to shuffle them so you don't know which ones. You have to keep spending time trying to figure out which one they are. So what do they do? I'm guessing we're going to have some lyrics on here. When I'm walking a dark road. Heal all your stress, then remove this card from the game. Interesting. I am a man who walks alone. Heal 2 stress, then if there's another figure in your space, remove this card from the game. A little anxious when it's dark. Take 1 stress for each other figure in your space. Fear of the Dark. You must move 2 spaces away from your current space. Enemies follow. And finally, I have a constant fear of something that's always near. Move to the nearest monster directly in your space. Interesting. So yeah, looks like 3 of them are fairly bad cards. 2 of them give you minor benefits and get removed, so you'll always be dealing with the last 3. But you could kind of look at it and be like, oh, that's a good heal. That's a healing one. Maybe you don't need to heal the stress. So you skip that and you pick a different card for the turn. I'm guessing that's how he kind of plays. So very interesting. Yeah, so these guys are kind of neat. So if you're looking at picking up some extra stuff for your game, so if you have Cthulhu Death May Die, or you have Massive Darkness 2, and you want an extra enemy for each one, you can always pick this up for that. And if you have the Zombicide stuff, you could use those as well. I think this one's a little less, maybe a little less invasive for if you're buying it just for one of the other 2 games. Again, like I've said in the other 2 videos, I would have loved if they just would have made all these things available for everything. Like, I know they're not available for Invader at all, which probably because there's not a giant fireman in space or a tree of darkness in space. So I guess I understand that. Like, thematically wise. But even still, I would have loved for Fear Eddie to be in Massive Darkness 2. Any extra content for that game, I would have loved. But again, if they would have tried to make all of these available for every single thing, that would have been crazy. You know, so it's what it is. Alright, so then the last thing we're going to look at in this video is we have the little bonus pack for Original Eddie here. It says, oh well, wherever you are, Iron Maiden's gonna get you no matter how far. See the blood flow watching it shed above my head. Iron Maiden wants you for dead. This is gonna be a very simple one. 1 card, 2 miniatures. We're basically gonna get him as a playable character. There's nothing in the front here, so it's just called Original Eddie. There he is. There is his card. We'll kind of take a little bit quicker look at him if we can. Doesn't focus on them cards of theirs. Yeah, this is just supposed to be like the basic Eddie's holding a broken beer bottle, has some trash on the floor, or litter as it's called. But yeah, very simple. Nothing super duper specially looking about him. Let's toss him up there. We'll kind of zoom this back out a little bit. And then we'll take a look at his 2nd edition card, so we can play him as a survivor. So, of course, his signature ability, like all of the other ones, are going to have it based off of the band, song names, lyrics. This is just based right off the band name, Iron Maiden. So let's flip them over and see what that does. Once during each of your turns, you may spend 1 action to move up to 3 zones, ignoring zombies and performing a free melee attack. So it's essentially charge, but he gets to move an extra zone. And he just ignores zombies, so he can run straight through guys. So it's kind of cool. And then he has Steady Hand and Taunt as his main abilities. If I can find the rule book. So Taunt is I love Taunt. Taunt's one of my favorite abilities in this game. Taunt says, survivors can use this skill once during each of their turns for free. Select a zone up to 2 zones away from the survivor, having a clear path. No line of sight is needed. So you just like you see around the corner, essentially. Zombies standing in a selected zone may immediately gain an extra activation. They try and reach the taunted survivor by any means available. Taunted zombies or all other survivors are going to attack them and leave the zone they're standing in. So it lets you pull zombies towards you. Maybe they have to walk through a building, maybe they have to try and go around a barricade or whatever they need to do, but it can be very great to either lure them closer to maybe your ranged characters. Hey, we have a couple of ranged guys, taunt them first, now they can shoot them without having to spend extra action to move closer, or your team's about to get attacked by a bunch of them, you can taunt them away. And then they have to spend their next turn maybe getting a turn back closer to those guys. So it's a really fun ability to do that. Steady Hand is survivor can ignore all other survivors when missing ranged actions. So it's now applied to game effects, killing everything such as Molotovs. So yeah, it kind of works also well with Steady. Could work well with Taunt. In extent, because then you can shoot into an area, you don't have to worry about hitting your teammates in case you taunt them into the same area. And his reg has 1 free melee, 1 free range, so he can go either direction, and his super strength, which turns his base damage into 3. His melee weapons. So yeah, he's gonna maybe lean a little bit more towards melee damage with Iron Maiden to be able to run into a melee attack. But he can also use range with free range attack and steady hand if you want. So it's kind of a, not super crazy character, but he's very reliable. Iron Maiden move in, you can get taunt move guys, even pull them into your area or close enough to use Iron Maiden to get closer to them so you don't have to run as far. And then super strength them and defeat a lot more in 1 turn. So definitely cool. Then we will get his Abomination card, which says eliminates with 2 damage. So a little bit harder to kill. When he activates, he is placed in the furthest survivor zone and attacks. Wound can be prevented by discarding an equipment card. Interesting. So he actually will pop up on the other side of the board potentially, and gets a free attack out of it. And then someone has to either take the damage or discard. And then he's harder to kill. So it's kind of neat. So he's almost a super zombie. Very, very neat. Very interesting. So that's what we have for that. That is all we have for Iron Maiden Zombicide. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check out the parts 1 and 2 if you haven't for everything. Check out the other Zombicide games. Anything else you guys would like me to check out, let me know. See you guys later. Bye.